Good evening, lords and squires, and thank you for tuning in to the 7th episode of JWCTV, where we're bringing all the latest threats, gossip, and salt. And another great show for you tonight. Game recaps, a check-in with the squires, the High Sparrow has returned from illness, and a little analysis of playoff odds. But before any of that, updates?
Yeah, not a whole lot to get to tonight. Just wanted to reiterate the schedule that we have coming up. The big Game 8, the last game of the regular season, is tomorrow night at the Mott P. Just a reminder, since it's the last game of the regular season, the tables will be split. And then after that, the playoffs start on July 20th. And then after that, a week later, we will be having the Summit, also likely at Mott P. Again, we'll get back to you on that. And then finally, 2 weeks after that, the championship game is set for August 3rd. And just keep in mind, this schedule is relatively tentative, depending on the arrival of the much-anticipated Princess Mish, as well as the Lordling Ducky. Depending on when they arrive, could alter likely the championship game. Stay tuned for that. Also, there is a secret event in the works. Can't say much on that yet. More details to come on that, but it's right now being planned for Labor Day, so make sure to save that date if you want to take part in this super special secret event.
And now, game recaps. Game 1 in turn order, Jägermeister, last place, Lord of Infinite, and D-Rock. Voja starts out really fast in this game, Soul Ring into a Cultivate on his turn 2. So obviously you can imagine Voja was coming out early. Lord of Infinite on his turn 2 plays a Blind Obedience. So we all know what that does.
Comes in tapped.
And that actually shuts down Henzi.
Oh, right, because Henzi has haste, has to come out and start swinging right away, so that's basically shutting him off completely.
Even with that, Henzi is able to play an Eradication Valkyrie, which, even though he's coming in tapped, he's able to sack his creatures, making other people sack their stuff.
The main engine is offline, but now he's keeping everyone at bay,
Yep.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
He's playing stacks against stacks in a way.
Okay, very nice. This sounds like this is on lock. As everyone playing cards at this point, coming in tapped and not being able to basically play creatures.
Yes, except one. D-Rock the Conqueror was not playing creatures yet, so that really hurt him.
Yeah.
When you don't have anything out,
Right.
It's hard to get over that first hurdle.
You'd have to have a creature to sacrifice.
Yeah, because you're just going to play it
And sacrifice it. Yeah,
so that
rough.
wasn't a good place for D-Rock.
Okay, understood.
Don't count him out yet.
Okay.
We may see him again.
Okay.
So even though Henzi is shut off, Jägermeister is still, in a way, controlling the game. Let's go back to the fact that Voja had a quick start.
Right.
Right? Well,
Yep.
So Voja still comes out on turn 3. We
Right.
did mention he was going to come out early. Immediate eyes turned to threat. We have Lord of Infinite staxing, so he's also a threat. We
Yep.
got Henzi. Still, we're just talking about him controlling the game.
Yep.
And then we have D-Rock the Conqueror for later.
Right. So at this point, the game, things are happening, but it's kind of on lock. Most people aren't able to progress their board states, right?
Until Lord of Infinite plays Yasharn in Placeable Earth. And that shuts down Eradicator Valkyrie.
Right, because he can no longer sacrifice creatures and to cause
Correct.
other people to have to sacrifice
Correct.
their own
Yep.
creatures. Okay.
Things are opening back up. People are playing creatures again. D-Rock plays as Grave Titan,
Ooh.
which we've seen before.
Yep.
He also plays a Demonic Tutor. He goes and gets Shieldred the Apocalypse.
Okay. Grave Titan shielded out.
If you're familiar with JWC, it's one of the band commanders. It's also in Darth Ryan's Nekusar deck. It showed up tonight. More on that later.
More on that later.
Jägermeister plays Mob Rule.
Remember, if you listen to fools, the mob rules! Close the city in, tell the people that something's coming to call. Death and darkness are rushing forward to take a fight for the world. You've nothing to say. Well, they'll break you away. If you listen to fools, the mob rules. The mob rules.
Another Jägermeister classic.
Yeah, steal all creatures power 4 or greater.
Shieldred is 4 or greater.
Yes.
Grave Titan is 4 or greater.
Yes.
Voja,
Yes.
4 or greater. Okay, so he's getting a lot of creatures.
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
The word is yes, Carl.
A lot has happened at this point. It's actually only turn 6 or 7. Jägermeister now looks at the table, players within lethal range. He looks at last place. If you've been watching these episodes, if you've been following the season, they have a history. He looks at D-Rock. Always seems like he has some sort of hint of counterspell or some interaction. He starts to back off of D-Rock. He looks over at Lord of Infinite, but ultimately he looks back at last place and Voja. Last place says to Jägermeister, hey, if you're going to do this and you're going to take me out, especially with my own commander, I am going to crack back and I'm going to, as they say, clip your wings on the way out. Jägermeister stands his ground. He swings lethal at Voja in last place. He swings Grave Titan at Lord of Infinite. In response, true to his word, last place, he uses Swords of Plowshare on Kashino.
Yep.
The Jägermeister was really counting on that. The life gain. He uses Boros Charm to give Grave Titan double strike, bringing Lord of Infinite down to 2 life, I believe. Shields are still there, and eventually going back into D-Rock's hands,
right,
assuming nothing happens in this moment.
Yep.
But, spoiler alert, it doesn't. Last place gets last place. It passes to Lord of Infinite, draws, dies to Shieldred. Then it moves to D-Rock. At this point, Jägermeister was pretty low in life. D-Rock swings out. End of story.
We did
D-Rock.
catch up with him after. That would be great to hear from him.
Yeah, let's play that right now.
D-Rock, when it mattered most, you got your first win of the season, keeping you alive in the playoffs. How does it feel? Take us through that game.
Thank you, first of all, for having me on. I want to say I'm over the moon. It's my first win of the season. I'm humble. I'm not going to be gloaty about it. I'm looking forward to the future games. I'm looking forward to that crown. Be ready, boys.
Did you get all 3 knockouts? 2 knockouts, 1 knockout? 2 knockouts.
I done got 2, but with my deck that I'm not too good with, I'll take it.
How did you knock out the last 2 people?
Carlin drew a card, and I had Shieldred out.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. So he died due to me.
Yep.
And then I just wiped out Jeff with creatures.
With combat damage.
Yeah, Jeff, though, I have to give a lot to Jeff. Shout out to Jeff.
Yep.
He killed Pat.
That's Voja. Yep.
Huge kill to Voja. So I just kind of played my cards, well, slowly, because that's all my deck would allow. So, Turtles win.
Congratulations, D-Rock. GG's. Thanks, D-Rock, and congrats again on your timely win. Very interesting game, and I feel like we have some similar themes like we've had throughout this season. My first thought is Lord of Infinite is staying true to his word. I know early on we questioned that is this really a stacks deck, but ever since then, he's continued to stacks the game out and really impact the trajectory of the game. Like immediately slowed Henzi, stopped D-Rock. Another theme, allowed D-Rock to kind of sit in the shadows for most of the game, be unchecked. The powers that be were going at each other, and he comes in and cleans up the scraps and takes the win. Once again, the guy that is not paid attention to winning the game. And then also Jägermeister puppet mastering a game once again, stealing people's creatures. Didn't come out with the win this time, but shifting the whole dynamic of the game with one spell this time. Mob rule.
There's a partial win here, though, him taking out Voja. That was the first time.
That's, right.
That's a big deal. If you want to reference what the King is talking about, episode 2 of JWCTV, watch Carlin's X interview, because he does actually describe his deck to do this.
Right.
And yes, of course, we're all
like, nah.
No, because also top deck something in that game. Very sorry, Lord of Infinite. No one believed you because your deck did what your deck normally does.
Right.
So we thought maybe you were just kind of jerking our chains, but you were actually pretty accurate. You've been Staxy ever since. So kudos to that.
Yeah, absolutely. On to game 2.
And in turn order, we have the Sellsword, Lord of Chaos, Captain Rook, and the High Sparrow. Do you want to take this one away?
This one was a lot more straightforward than the last game. Coming out hot, Captain Rook drops turn 1 Changeling. which is pretty key in his deck as it cares about multiple creature types to create his party.
So we actually know what his deck does now?
I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
Turn 2, Lord of Chaos plays a Mind Crank. But unfortunately, Lord of Chaos kind of gets screwed this game and doesn't hit any islands. He's getting his mana. He's not necessarily mana screwed, but he's missing his blue color.
That's not new to Lord of Chaos.
Yeah, Lord of Chaos has been known to have mana problems.
He's actually won a Spuddy for it.
He has. But ironically, he did just add a tropical island for his last upgrade. I don't know if anybody caught that.
Oh, I missed that.
His deck's now like $1,600, but unfortunately, didn't work out. He did not pull it. Captain Rook plays a Siren Storm Tamer. This is going to be important later, but if you don't know that, you sacrifice it, pay a blue, and you can counter a target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. Solid built-in protection. Sellsword is ramping. And he's getting forests this time. That's getting scary. Apparently he had 9 mana by turn 5. That's at any point dropping his commander and threatening to go infinite and comboing off. By turn 3, this is starting to look like a Captain Rook party, which it is. He plays Selfless Spirit and then follows that up turn 4 by playing his commander. Now he has a full party. So he's got his engine online and it's locked down in Fort Knox. Slowly piecing together whatever the hell that means, but long story short, he starts buffing things up and swings some at Lord of the Chaos, some at Sellsword, does a good chunk of damage to them. This allows the High Sparrow to start building up, and eventually he gets back to doing his thing, which we've all seen it before. Helga and some on Tapper. He starts to do his engine, but he's not quite there. He fizzles out. Game's not over. It allows Captain Rook to keep building up, which at point he plays Champions from Beyond for X = 5, creates a couple of heroes. He's have a full party. Whenever he attacks with 8 or more creatures, those creatures get +4/+4.
Oh,
so he's buffing and buffing and buffing. He's getting scary. He swings this time at High Sparrow, some at Sellsword, some at Lord of Chaos. I told you this one's pretty straightforward. Swing, combat damage, swing, combat damage. People are getting dwindled down here. Captain Rook, not so much. Okay, so then it gets back to Sellsword, who is well positioned because of all his ramp. And at some point, he mills Spirit Dancer into his graveyard, which is a major piece for him to get to one of his wins. He gets Merkle out, but then Captain Rook has a Bajuko Bog, which he subsequently plays. Exiles his graveyard. There goes Spirit Dancer. So Captain Rook is really, really controlling this game at this point. Poor Lord of Chaos is still mana screwed, so he's not entering the battle much. Then it gets back to Captain Rook once again. He swings everything. Again, not lethal, but everyone's getting dwindled down. Then he passes to the High Sparrow. He plays a Genesis Hydra for 6. And then he has an enchantment that doubles his counter, so now he has a 12/12 Hydra. At which point, he's looking at Captain Rook like, hey, you've been hitting us all with damage, you're controlling this game, you've been the threat, like, gonna swing this at you. At which point, Captain Rook puts on his politic hat and says, if you swing that at me because it wasn't lethal, I will kill you next turn. But if you don't, I won't swing at you, I'll kill the other 2 and guarantee you at least second place. Hard deal to pass up, especially because he can't kill him. But, you know, Captain Rook was also the threat, so you be the judge. High Sparrow takes the deal. True to his word, gets back to Captain Rook. He swings out and kills Sellsword and Lord of Chaos. With his full party at this point, all his creatures are insanely buffed and easily has them at lethal. Passes back to High Sparrow's turn. He can't catch Captain Rook at this point. Gets back to Captain Rook. He swings out on the High Sparrow and kills him. Gets the victory and the 3 knockouts.
And actually, we have an interview from Captain Rook, so let's get his take.
That card is crap!
Great stuff. Great insight. I love that.
Me too. And fully recovered from illness, we have the High Sparrow. Take it away from the Great Citadel.
Thank you, King Ryan and Han Ryan, and welcome back to the Grand Citadel. Posey has blessed me this week and removed the illness that has plagued my lands. And I thought I'd continue on from our story last week, moving on from the merger and into the conflict. So, my lords, the realm of the Johnny Walker Cup had already weathered the merger, a historic union where the Soul Accord absorbed the forces of the Bofo. But true peace was a fleeting dream. Following the merger, the sitting king, the notorious Lord of Whispers, rewarded his loyal aide, Cal Ducky, with a vast lands, as I mentioned last week. This expansion brought 4 new lords into the pre-established tournament, forever altering the balance of power. With 8 lords now fighting for supremacy, a new dark age had dawned. The tyrannic rule of Lord of Whispers choking the lands, a quiet consensus grew among the houses. A conquest was required to bring down him once and for all. Seeing the realm fracture underneath the tyrannical rule, the commission devised a grand strategy to restore the glory of his fallen land, the Wolf Den, as well as my land. To execute a strike of this magnitude, he would enlist the lethal aid of the most recent Bofo tournament winner, Kiki. Using the recent partnership of the Eastlands as leverage, Kamish plotted to strip the Lord of Whispers of his absolute power that he so desperately craved. But while the Kamish's eyes were fixed entirely on the crown, a different kind of power was quietly brewing in the shadows. It was during this era of unrest that the church, as the realm knows it today, took form. The Highland region was traditionally fiercely devoted to Posty. However, a new deity began to cast a shadow over its lands. To the superstitious Highlanders, this entity appeared as a terrifying, multi-armed flying monster. In truth, it was no god. It was a malice, calculated abomination of the creamery, orchestrated by Lord Kiki and his brilliant proprietor, the Spider Mommy. As the season progressed, the commish, the self-proclaimed Kingslayer, became entirely consumed by his crusade against the Lord of Whispers. Distracted by war, he failed to notice that the creamery's engine of devotion was churning at maximum capability. By the time the dust of the regular season settled, the church had marched into the playoffs seated in a position of immense power. He was flanked by the Conqueror and Cal Ducky. Despite the best efforts of Cal Ducky, acting on behalf of his master, the Lord of Whispers, to bar the gate, Lord Kiki successfully snuck into the postseason, just as planned. The cost of war, however, was devastatingly high. The commish sacrificed an entire season to ensure that Lord of Whispers was dragged down to ruin. To this day, it remains the only season in league history that the commish had failed to make the playoffs. With commish out and the church seemingly destined for the crown, the true colors of Kingmaker were revealed. Utilizing a backroom connection to the Conqueror, the Kingmaker snatched the crown right out beneath the church's nose, and for the first time in history, the land was ruled by someone outside of the Soul Accord. Though the tyrant had been halted, the alliance was left in ashes. Burned bridges, deep-seated resentment. It gave birth to the conflict of the 3 points, a bitter 3-way rivalry that would plague the land for seasons to come. The commish at the Wolf's Den, the Lord of Whispers in the Spider Lair, and the now sitting King Kiki in the Creamery. The power struggle between these 3 titans nearly tore the entire realm apart. Weary of the constant politicking and bloodshed, many of the lords began to question the devotion of the tournament itself, as the collective passion of a united realm seemed to wither away. In the final fracturing blow to the old map, the church officially dissolved the partnership of the East Lands, forever severing the East Highlands from the South and leaving the realm in permanent change. This error proved that in the Johnny Walker Cup, the only thing more dangerous than an open opponent is a distracted king. And I feel that might be it for this week. But maybe next week we will continue to move into the conflict of the 3 points and maybe into the story behind the expansion. Thank you all for listening, and by the grace of Posty, I send it back to you, King Ryan and Han Ryan.
Another epic reading from the High Sparrow. Man, I love that segment.
Me too. We're going to throw a quick curveball. We're going to embed the trivia question now.
Ooh.
Pack opening later.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Speaking of trivia, just to reiterate, the trivia question from the previous episode is still live because of the delay on that last episode.
At least it is out.
Alrighty then.
But now for this episode's trivia question, we have a King-related question. What song did I, Your Grace, use for the Season 10 championship entrance?
Think hard because the winner of that gets a Marvel Superheroes Collector Booster, which just released last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago,
Something like that.
if you count pre-release.
It's new.
It's new. It's brand new.
Why don't we check in with the Squires? How are they doing, Hand?
Well, so they caught up with us at the Guild Hall 2 weeks ago for their Game 6 during our Game 7.
Yes.
Looks like Squire Brandon won that game. It also sounds like the curse has been lifted because all the Squires were able to play their decks in
Okay.
a classic game of Magic the Gathering.
I know last episode, Squire Chris was wondering, are we cursed? What's going on? Why are we cursed? This is enough evidence here. The answer is they haven't had the postie in their presence, and they haven't drawn from the postie. I don't think it's a coincidence that they are now back with the JWC Kingdom, pulling from the postie, and they were all blessed with good starting hands.
So we do have exit interviews from the Squires for that Game 6. Let's take a look at those.
Nice.
The evil people conspired against me. They saw I had 2 combo pieces on the board and killed me. Oh, blue and red is scary. Oh, blue and red. Very scary. They conspired. Not the set, but the Alex Jones style. Not taking the crown. They conspired and they killed me.
The curse is finally broken. Not only did all of our decks execute pretty well this last round, we actually had 0 mulligans, which is completely unheard of. This round was a lot of fun, and it was kind of hard to tell what was going to happen next. So my deck was starting off pretty strong. I had a lot of ramp on the board early on in the game. I was able to tutor for one of my combo pieces, pretty dangerous dragon. The downside of Grohl in general is most of my ramp was creatures, which my deck was growing well, my board state was doing great, and then a Blasphemous Act came along and just completely ruined my day. After that, I was a little slow to regrow. Meanwhile, little Matt was doing Izzet things. He was a turn or two from going off by the time the game ended. Big Matt had a Treebeard on the board with a life doubler, so he was going to start doubling in power every round. Brandon was just big and strong. At the end of the day, that was kind of what won it. Is none of us really had an answer for how for all of Brandon's golems. It was just a relief to see. Everyone played well, and I think as we go forward, we're going to have some more fun rounds like that.
So this last game was actually a pretty good one. Everyone hit their land drops, and we were actually playing our decks as intended. But I basically took no action against anyone and got second place off of Brandon declaring attackers and blockers. So I guess to get around that, I just need to play Fogs now. But he's now target number 1.
So about last match, I ended up winning. Pretty much came down to a one-sided board wipe in kind of the beginning of the game. And then I just kept on pace, was able to control a combat with a spell, and I basically chose the remaining 2 players, creatures not to block, and took them out. I'm in first place now, so I guarantee I'm going to be the target. Just take it easy on me, boys.
Since our game 2 weeks ago, the Squires did catch up and play their round 7, so now they're all caught up with us. Let's take a look at what they have to say about that game.
And for 4th place.
Yep. I misplayed. Kind of sucks, but got 4th because I'm in first place. My deck did the thing, but not good enough, I guess. That's pretty much it.
Would you say your threat assessment was on level?
I was just being too nice. That's just what it was.
Okay.
I was too nice, to be honest. So yeah, it wasn't the best. Big Matt was scary looking, but Chris turning his trample off was pretty key there. And
the second that happened, maybe you should have gone.
Little Matt is always a threat, just because you can't see it coming. You can't see it coming. That's just what it is.
Once he gets to 6 man.
Yeah. So.
And for 3rd place, so I didn't attack a single person. I did have on the board Sapling Nursery and Cather's Crusade, which Lil Matt was gracious enough to not counterspell, or he was bluffing.
I had it the whole time.
He had it the whole time. Okay. So once I had those on the board, everyone decided I was the threat, which, fair enough. But I had to keep everyone else in check, so I took out Chris's Artifact Stealer. Probably should have saved. Probably should have saved my Inscription of Abundance for something else, and just let him steal Brandon's artifacts as well as mine. What else? I mean, I have to get better at politicking, I guess, to get other people to be the focus. But now I get some subs. I'm definitely going to put in Aura Shards. And we saw Spore Frog on Chris's end, but that's definitely going to include mine. So hopefully I will get better.
And 2nd place.
Oh man, I don't know what was going on with this game. Politics. We're all trying to be too nice. We're all making crazy, weird deals.
True.
There's 8 golems on the board that could just go double strike flying at any point, and somehow everyone thinks I'm the threat with my 4/4 commander on the board and nothing else. Yeah, but yeah, that's what we get. We were all too slow, and then Izzet comes out of nowhere and it fucks us all right in the ass.
I think we can all agree. Let's stop forgetting about Izzet. And here's the winner.
I thought you were gonna ask this.
No. How'd it go?
We all got to late turn. We get to like turn 13 or some shit, and we all had mana. I just had Mana Geyser. Got to go infinite, I guess. Good times. This is a casting couch. It's my first time on. I'm new to the industry. Okay.
Going places, kid.
I just graduated high school.
And that brings us to Game of the Week. Your game, King.
It sure was. And Game of the Week, it was, I will have to say. As noted on our last episode, I desperately needed a win this week to keep my playoff chances alive and to give me the chance to defend the throne. Coming into this one, I needed some help. And as I spoke with to you, I was hoping for some sort of rivalry on my table to take some of the tension away from me to give me a chance. I wanted something like a Kingmaker Kiki and a Lord of Whispers on my table. So they go at it, and I could go a little bit unnoticed and potentially take a win because of how badly I needed it.
And did you get the rivalry?
Hosty answered my prayers. I first see that Kingmaker Kiki is there and Lord of Whispers are there. I'm cheering for joy, and I'm talking to Lord of Whispers. Who's our 4th? And then walks over Darth Ryan. And my excitement quickly turned to despair and sheer fear, because now I realize I am a part of the trio, Darth Ryan, Lord of Whispers, and Kingmaker Kiki. All direct damage decks. I just looked back on has now happened going into this game 4 times in a row with one other sorry player stuck at that table.
And Darth Ryan's won 2 of those 4.
And Darth Ryan has won 2 of those 4. whoever that fourth person is hasn't won a single game. So I'm now that fourth person. It's not looking great. Being in this trio is sort of like being stuck in the 6th level of hell.
For you, though, hell.
Where you're just constantly being burned while you're stuck listening to Kingmaker Kiki and Lord of Whispers bicker at each other. Meanwhile, Darth Ryan's just staring through your soul, waiting to draw a peer into the abyss to just peer you into the abyss. I'm not feeling too good about sitting as the 4th player in this spot. But the crown needs a win to stay alive. We carry on and we march forth.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Thanks, Yoda. And then right on cue, this game started out as you would expect. Turn 2, Lord of Whispers played Impact Tremors. That's a damage dealer. Darth Ryan, who I'm sure you've gotten some insight from, so I'd love to hear what his perspective was on this. But Darth Ryan follows that up with, jury's still out on how you pronounce this, but Magus of the Wheel, Maggots of the Wheel, Magnum of the Wheel. We heard it all this game.
Of the wild?
Of the wild.
That's
the wild wheel.
That's made really good. It's Magnus.
Oh, it's Magus?
No, I'm fine with it.
It's Magnum. It's Magnum. Which already the whole table's like, you gonna wheel? Are you gonna wheel? Are you gonna wheel?
So are you gonna wheel next turn?
Are you likely to wait to wheel? Hey, are you gonna wheel on your turn?
I think everyone had pretty good hands.
His response to all that was simply, well, if you tutor, then I'm gonna wheel. Probably not unless someone tutors.
I had a tutor in hand. That's why I asked him that. Then the game progresses a bit. Lord of Whispers drops a Tocasius Welcome, which is an enchantment that draws him a card every time a creature ETBs. So we all know Norin is coming. His quasi-commander, every time it comes in and out, it's triggering that and it's drawing him a card. But then the next turn on curve, which is not usual for Darth Ryan. It feels like he plays a little bit faster. Darth Ryan plays Mommy. We've seen her already. Shieldred, the Apocalypse.
That's correct. I mean, in the past, if you've been watching these episodes, he's been dropping Nekisar, 5-drop commander on turn 3, followed by a wheel on turn 4. Yep. So here he is. No ramp, 1 land, 1 land, 1 land, 1 land. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shielded the Apocalypse.
Yep.
Very slow for him, but it's still a very powerful play given what you just said that Lord of Whispers played.
Now we're looking at every rotation. Lord of Whispers will be taking 8 damage from her. I'm afraid of Shieldred, of course. Kingmaker Kiki is afraid of Shieldred, of course. Lord of Whispers is terrified of Shieldred. He can't let that sit. So in my head, I'm thinking, hopefully Lord of Whispers removes Shieldred, because if he doesn't, he's going to be gone. So it gets back to my turn. I progress my board state. I play Ryan or somebody like that. It gets to Kingmaker Kiki. He's mana screwed at this point. He's got like 2 lands out and maybe a mana rock, but he's not able to do much else. So it gets back to Lord of Whispers. As expected, he swords to Plowshares Shieldred.
Yep.
So again, that's the 3rd game we get Swords to Plowshare. It's pretty impactful. Darth Ryan gains his life. Now with Shieldred out of the picture, Lord of Whispers starts to take over this game a bit. He eventually gets out like 3 different pingers. I have him here. Agate Instigator, Arbaz Mir, / Reptile Rampage. He also has Torbran out, which anytime it deals a damage to you, it's adding another damage to you. Every turn, not a turn rotation, every end step, we're taking 6 damage.
Plus, Nekisar came out on turn 5.
Right on curve, Nekisar's out.
Yep.
So we're already low from Nekisar. I think at this point, Kingmaker Kiki and I both have 14 life. Darth Ryan is still within the 30s, I think, because Shieldred gained him some life. Lord of Whispers is at 21, also because Nekisar is dealing damage.
Yep.
So you see what's happening. Everyone's burning here. It's in the 6th layer of hell. Nekisar is burning it down. Lord of Whispers is burning it down. This game is on the ropes. So it passes now to Darth Ryan's turn. Again, everyone is very low on life. And Darth Ryan's...
conveniently increments of 7.
Wheel cards typically do what?
I think draw 7 cards.
Draw you 7 cards, right?
Yeah.
So as I said, we're in hell right now. You see the flames start to build up in Darth Ryan's eyes, and he gets really excited. He says something out loud. We might have a clip of that, I think.
I think I can win the game right now.
So as you just saw, he let us all know he was about to win.
So Darth Ryan experienced something that he has never experienced before, and that was actually Kingmaker Kiki which you mentioned before, he was land screwed.
He was land screwed, yeah.
He was showing, or he was offering to show cards to Darth Ryan. Completely tournament legal. Politics, right?
Politics.
Yes. Darth Ryan looks at his cards, looks at the board, everyone's tapped out. He looks back at Kingmaker Kiki and says, I think I can win right now. Then Kingmaker Kiki says back to him, whoa, okay.
All right.
Well, I don't have any politics against that.
Yeah.
I believe it was you then reacted with another card.
Duly noted. Appreciate that insight. But when somebody says, I think I'm going to win, you have a potential answer in hand. I think you have to do something about it. And I understand that part. And I also probably think everybody being tapped out was a pretty strong indicator like, hey, I got this. I've been there. But fortunately, I had Deadly Rollick in hand, which is free when you control your commander. Yes. And I typically control my commander early in the game because good little boy is just 1 mana. And he was out there fighting for me. So yes, on Darth Ryan's upkeep, he did untap, and I responded to his upkeep by Deadly Rollicking Nekisar, hopefully stopping what that lethal play was. I don't think we ever saw what was going to happen. Did you get any insight to what that play...
Sure. Before that, the point Darth Ryan was talking about is because he had never experienced that, in that situation, he wouldn't have necessarily blurred that out loud.
Fair.
He admitted afterwards that he should have still done what he was going to do. It wouldn't have won him the game. It would have changed the tone of the game.
Yeah.
It threw off his game, whatever. He misplayed, loser. The combo that Darth Ryan was trying to do, he was going to play Fell Spectre. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 2 life. Kingmaker Kiki, land screwed, had been discarding, had 7 cards. Lord of Whispers had been drawing so many cards,
right?
Had 7 cards.
Yep.
You call it 4 or 5,
yep.
Doesn't matter. Now, if he plays that and then Magus is the wheel, these 2 are taking 14 damage from the discard.
That's lethal already to
Kingmaker Kiki.
Yep.
You're taking 8 or 10, bringing you down to 6 or 4, and now you're wheeling. You're drawing 7 cards.
Out of here.
7 to Nekisar, 21 total, 14 total. It's more
lethal.
Than 14 that you had. Yes, lethal.
So he did have the win.
Yes, he did have the win. You happen to have Deadly Rollick.
Yep.
If Darth Ryan had played that, still would have
brought life totals down.
Brought them way down, and even taken out Kingmaker Kiki, Lord of Whispers down to 7, you would have been down to less than 10. And now the board's looking a little different.
Looking a little fringe. So by the grace of Posty, we continue forth.
Yes.
So it gets to my turn right after this, and I myself blow a win. I was able to generate infinite mana on my turn with the Devoted Druid and Bristly Bill combo. I had 2 creatures with infinite counters on them, but everybody had 2 blockers out. So I could take out their blockers, but without any trample. I'm not getting through. I'm not killing anybody. I was able to play Ryan with the infinite green mana, and I had 1 black. I drew Eldritch Evolution, but within all that, totally forgot about the infinite green mana and that I could play Eldritch Evolution, sacrificing Ryan, transferring those infinite counters to another creature, giving me 3 creatures with infinite +1/+1 counters on it, and allowing me to tutor for the creature that gives them all trample to be able to swing out on everybody with infinitely big trampling creatures. But totally forgot about that because rocks. I instead have 2 creatures that are infinitely big. At this point, Lord of Whispers still has all of his pingers out with the one that's adding the damage. We're still very low on life. If it gets back to his turn, we are all going to lose. So all I can think to do at this point, I can't kill anybody except for Kingmaker Kiki, but we have to do something about Lord of Whispers. I figure just swing at him. He's got to block with his 2 pingers. So I do that. He blocks, of course, and that's it. I pass my turn to Kingmaker Kiki, and he changes the game a bit as he wipes the board with his Planeswalker, the Eternal Wanderer. It's his final ability. He chooses a creature, I believe, and then you sacrifice everything else. So he chooses a creature on all our boards. For me, it was Reiki. I did have to choose a stopping point. I chose 100,000, so he was 100,000. Do you know what Darth Ryan?
He kept Magus of the Wheel.
Interesting. Yeah. Much to my joy, Kingmaker Kiki and Lord of Whispers start to get into their thing a little bit. It doesn't do a whole lot because Kiki is still kind of mana screwed. He did do the board wipe, but he's not able to build up his board state much. Lord of Whispers gets back to his turn, back to the pingers. He getting close to being able to kill all of us. He gets both Kingmaker Kiki and I down to 3 life. Darth Ryan is low as well. He's in the teens at this point too. So he passes a turn. It gets to Darth Ryan. I have to win this game or I'm out of it. I now put on my politic hat. I present a deal to Darth Ryan on his turn. I think it's a pretty win-win deal because Lord of Whispers is going to kill us all on his turn. So I say to him, at this point, if Darth Ryan plays anything, both Kingmaker Kiki and I are going to die on his end step because we have 3 life, and Norrin comes in, and Lord of Whispers has enough pingers to kill us. My proposal to him was, on my turn, I can kill Lord of Whispers. If he doesn't have any removal, I can swing my infinite creature at him.
In which case, he didn't play that because he was mentioning that in this next turn cycle could not deal with Norrin.
Again, by the grace of Posty, it's on the crown side, true to the deal. I go and I play my Eldritch Evolution to tutor for Dusk Shell Crawler, which gives creatures I control with +1/+1 counters on them trample. So now my infinitely big guy has trample, and I go to swing him at Lord of Whispers. Fortunately, he has removal in hand. He has a good old Path to Exile, and he goes to Path to Exile my big creature. But, Lawyer Magic, I did have a trick up my sleeve. All 3 games, and this is the second one in this game. So in response to his path on my creature, I swords my own creature, which, y'all know, the owner of that creature that it targets gains life equal to that creature's power, which at this point is 100,000.
1,000 life.
So
That's how that works.
Yeah, I gain 100,000 life, yes, at a table which cares about reducing life. That's it. That's all I got. I passed my turn. Unfortunately, Kingmaker Kiki is not saved in this deal, and he bleeds out to the Norrin trigger on his turn. So now it's myself, Lord of Whispers, and Darth Ryan left. Lord of Whispers takes his turn, passes to Darth Ryan. Darth Ryan ultimately dies to Norrin's triggers. So at this point, Norrin has 2 KOs. Yep, he knocked out Kingmaker Kiki and Darth Ryan. At this point, it just becomes a back and forth. Can Lord of Whispers ping down 100,000 life? To his credit, he started doing like 40 damage a turn. So any normal game, he would have won. But 100,000 is a lot more than 40.
Yeah.
And it took like 2 or 3 turns maybe. I got Torgal out. I had Branching Evolution out. I had another doubler out. So Torgal got out, got a lot more counters on him. I was able to go get Jamoka, which gave him double strike, and swung on Lord of Whispers with lethal commander damage. I can't believe it. I somehow escaped the 6th layer of hell in this game and made it out alive by the grace of Posty. Crown lives to fight another day.
So you keep referencing the 6th circle of hell. So that's heresy?
Yes.
Are you trying to hint at something?
Mainly the punishment at that level was to be constantly burned. Maybe there's some other message in there as well. Gotcha. So speaking of which, I'm still in it. I still have a chance to defend my crown. Where does everybody else stand? We are entering the last game of the season. Might as well check in to see what everyone's chances are of making the playoffs.
Well, right off the rip, the top 4 are locked in. Voja has already been locked in.
He's been locked in.
We've been talking about him being locked in.
Okay. So we got 3 more lock-ins from this past game.
Yes. We have Darth Ryan at 2nd, locked in. We have Lord of Whispers, locked in. And we have Manifest Destiny. We have the King of Salt, Captain Rook.
He's locked in?
Yeah.
Again, just like last season. Okay. Yep. Cool.
So those 4 are locked in.
And shout out to Manasync again. This is where we're pulling the odds from. After the lock, we have the Bone Zone, who is a near lock. Just missed it. He's at 99%.
Yeah, and we even said this last week.
Yep.
It was a matter of table placement could have even locked him in.
Right.
He did get last. Because of who won, he's still at 99. Any point locks him in.
Yeah.
The magic number seems to be 14, but it may even be 13 because of table placement.
Also to that point, after last round, he had a D-Rock win, 2 4th places from higher ranking people.
Yep.
Everything got squished.
Yep.
So after that is the Pack Survives. Myself at 81%. That's at 12 points and 5 knockouts, which is key because a lot of these top players have a lot of knockouts. You have 10 from Elvin, 9 from Bite, 4 from Phantom Menace, so he's an outlier there. Manifest Destiny has 7, Bones on has 8. Then you have a drop off. You have me at 5 KOs.
So in saying what we were just saying, the 13 points could be the magic number based on table placements?
But also the KOs.
Yes. But
KOs matter.
We'll get back to KOs if we feel like it. But one more point, you could technically be locked in with a third. Second place is 14 locks you in.
Yeah, well, to be clear, we always play to win.
Yes,
play
to win.
But, yes, a second would probably be ideal. A third place, not automatic.
I guess it comes down to, do you have a single upgrade that you would love to put in before going in?
I sure do. Right after me, very close odds, 78%, is Panic at the Pond. He also has 12 points.
Which is, of course, is the high Sparrow.
He's got 4 knockouts, so he's got a slightly lower percentage there.
So he's looking for a winner second.
He's looking for a winner second as well. Third place again, it may not eliminate him, but you're getting in risky territory.
Now you're dancing.
In 8th place, so currently in the playoff picture.
Right on the line.
At 11 points and 5 KOs, I'm walking here with 63% chance. A little bit more than a coin flip, but probably very important for him to be looking for a win. Now we get below the line of the playoffs currently.
Pretty much everyone now wants to win.
Now everyone here, I think, needs a win or there's no shot. Next up is Flood the Swamp, Lord of Infinite, at a 29% chance to make the playoffs with 10 points and 3 KOs. Because a win gets him at 14, I think a win and he's in. So now we're on to Zimone in the kitchen with Dina, which is D-Rock. He's at 26%, again, because he's got 10 points. I think a win also would keep him safe. We're all the way down at 10th place.
And a win gets you
in. And a win gets you in. So, again, very stacked. Now it starts to get a little hairy. At 11th place, we have Devil Went Down to Junya, a.k.a. Jägermeister, has a 16% chance currently, but 9 points. You might need a little help here because a win is putting you at 13.
So now he's looking for a win, and the few people by the line, third or last.
Jägermeister needs the people immediate above him and those just above the playoff line not do well on another table, I think. A win does get him at 13 points, which was kind of what we're saying is close to that magic number, but he's got 2 KO.
Who are the people right on the line again? I'm walking here.
Here, and Flood the Swamp are bordering the line. Yeah. Panic is 2 above the line, and then you got Pac 3 above the line.
Okay.
And then right above him, you got Zimone. He needs anyone in that area to not perform as well. And then he needs a win.
Yeah.
And then that gets back to 12th position. Chernobyl and Lord of Chaos, which right now, he's still in it. Everyone is still in it. Manasync is giving him an 8% chance. You rewind all the way back to season 8, I believe. We had 4% in a dream.
Yep.
That was Lord of Infinite. Had 4% chance, and he did. So it's possible. 8% almost feels lower odds than
still double 4.
It's still double 4, but it seems his path is possible with a win.
So what's his points at?
He's at 8 with 4 KOs.
Okay, so he can get up to 12.
He can get up to 12, which right now is in the 7th to 6th range.
Okay.
So he needs help. Other people on the cusp to lose. But he's not out of it for those who are locked in. Are they going to approach this game trying to control who they're going to see in the playoffs? Or are they going to take opportunity here to try to bolster their points heading into the playoffs to increase their chance of making the championship table?
At the risk of sounding like a cheesy ESPN analyst right now,
sure,
I would say it's a combination of both.
I'd have to agree with you that it's a combination of both and that you make the assessment when you sit down at your game.
You have that gift.
You have that luxury to do that, but it's also a little bit stressful because you have to think a little bit more. As someone who has donned the P a couple times now, I've been in this position before. I've approached it differently multiple times in that sometimes it's like, hey, I don't want to see this person in the playoffs. And sometimes it's like, hey, the standings are very close right now. I need to build a buffer and play to win.
Yeah.
As usual, Posty has all the power this week, and we'll decide how a lot of this shakes up.
Time for a pack opening. Marvel Superheroes Collector Booster. Brand new. I'm going to open this one because I just want to keep grabbing. All right, here we go. Marvel Superheroes Collector Boosters, hot off the press.
I'm excited. Is he getting better?
Nope.
I'll tell you, as people know, I do a lot of sports cards. There's something about Magic packs that are way harder to open.
I got this one, but
Now you
I feel like it's a little bit
At least you know we're not faking the pack opening.
Nah, faking it.
All right.
I shredded that one. All right, well, here's the token, so I'm going to flip it over.
Yep.
I don't know any of these. Bold Biochemist.
There's the power-up mechanic. I think that's new for this set.
All right, Pet Avengers.
Another power-up.
Go Nuts.
Teamwork. That's also a new mechanic, I think.
Echo. Perceptive Prodigy.
So perceptive.
Avengers Tower. That's cool.
That's cool.
Quantum Reduction.
Jam Aura. Okay.
Still in the commons here.
Yep.
Commune with Dinosaurs.
There is a bit of a dinosaur theme, I think.
That's actually.
Yeah.
I guess is that not Commune with Dinosaurs from?
Yeah, it is.
It's the same card.
It's Commune with Dinosaurs.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I'm like, I know this card.
Yes. But there is a dinosaur theme in this set.
Count Nefaria.
All right. Uncommon now? Or
Yep, we're in the uncommons.
Okay.
Yeah, that symbol is very dark. The Thing, Ben Grimm.
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's just very comic book.
Yep. Planes.
Okay.
Captain America's on there.
Still a cool looking basic.
Yep. Captain America come down an escalator.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
Mind
Yes!
Yes!
We did
Yes!
it!
We did it!
Let's go!
I mean, that's the only $90 one, but that's still dope.
Let's go!
The first pack we ever opened.
We actually
with
hit.
Super Marvel Super.
I'm telling you, we had a lot of whiffs.
I was like, the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone!
Let's go!
Yes!
Let's go!
Fuck yeah!
That's
Fuck yeah!
I'm sure everybody knows, but that's the hit. That's what you want to hit in the Marvel set.
It's the cheap one.
It's the cheap one, but it's
the fucking Mind Stone.
It's the fucking Mind Stone.
That's
not the cheap one.
We don't.
It's.
We don't swear.
We don't swear here. Hell yeah.
Okay. Whew. Methods of the Mighty. That's a pretty cool looking card still.
Yep.
It's got Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America on it.
Oh, that's cool.
The Superhero Civil War. So a lot of the Spider-Man cards had these like comic layers.
That's cool.
Path to Exile. Captain America.
That's dope too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Ultron Artificial Malevolence. What is it? Malvolence.
Ultron Artificial
Malvolence.
Yeah.
I can't read.
I don't know if that's good or not.
But it's a cool the card actually was hard for me to read, but it's cool because it's a comic book art, like comic book cover.
I gotta say, I'm one of those people. I'm over the universe beyond, but this set is cool.
Yeah.
Like this comic book art is super sick. And a hero.
This is the double-sided with robot villain token that we'd grabbed.
Yeah, but we pulled the Mind Stone, and
Yeah.
my hand hurts from high fiving.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Welcome to Learning to Read with Blue Ryan.
Good evening. Today's word of the day is malevolence, not to be confused with male violence, often attributed to JWC Mondays. When trying to pronounce malevolence, think Maleficent, not to be confused with Shieldred, also referenced multiple times in this episode. Malevolence, noun, for someone who is malevolent. Adjective, full of spite or ill will for another. Malicious. How fitting. That word came up in the most recent pack opening when Han Ryan and King Ryan opened up Ultron Artificial Malevolence. Now, they also did not know during the pack opening that this card was in fact $100 as well. they were distracted by the Mind Stone. Also, in honor of Independence Day, I just so happen to have a copy of the Declaration of Independence, because who doesn't? Not going to read the whole thing, but when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that concludes our show tonight. Remember to tune in Sunday nights at 8, but always remember, stay hydrated, my lords.